Hey guys, it's Brian. Hope you're doing well today. If you're crazy hair and all, it's bright and early, about 7:45 my time, and just running through some quick live stream with you. It's been a while since I had one up. I've had some technical challenges this week as far as doing live streams. I have posted a couple of times over in Facebook, just trades I was looking at, things that we've been doing in the marketplace. But I thought it was it's Friday. Let's take an opportunity to have a quick look at the market, see where things have been this week. Nothing has changed. The trading plan that I use to trade this is the same trading plan I've been talking about forever. You guys should kind of have it down and have a good idea of what you're doing, know what you're doing, and know a way to approach the market. Understanding that simple strategies do work. So you don't have to get crazy and buy a bunch of fancy indicators to watch the market, especially in futures, since it's a highly speculative market. Speculative trading styles work very, very well. Let's pop over to that and just have a quick look. I think if I go to this, yeah, good. We should have that up. That's not the one I want. This one over here. So what are we looking at for the week? I mean, today, coming into today, we've been sitting in about a 9-point range here on the ES, right? So we've been, kind of a base is about 3,000. Our top's about 3,009-ish, maybe 3,000. Let's call it a 10-point range. So pretty darn range bound. We seem to kind of be coming to a top here on the S&P. Really since about the 15th of October, we've just been kind of hanging out right here in this range. A couple of things you could look at. I'm still looking at the exact same levels I've had on my charts for months now. Well, I shouldn't say months, but for quite some time now. We're looking at the exact same levels that we can trade off of. We can see how well respected these levels have been, as a matter of fact. This morning, we're kind of coming down to that key psychological level prior to the U.S. session getting fully underway. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not too keen to trade off of it until we really get an idea of what's happening there. I mean, obviously, like I said before, for me, since we pushed down below my 3005, 3006 level prior to the open, what I'll be looking for is to see if we kind of retrace back to this. If not, then we'll just be patient until price comes down to another key level, and then we'll trade off of it. Same over here in gold. I mean, we can see what gold's been doing. Exact same process. These levels have just been very, very well respected, and like clockwork, we're able to look at these and trade off of them. Of course, gold now is kind of in no man's land. I'd need to get up to this 1520 area in order to be able to have our next decision point to see if we're going to sell off of this or what it's going to do around that. If it pulls back down here to 1500, 1505, and I'll be looking to rebuy on the pullbacks here. We'll see what happens. A lot of things you can do in markets like this, especially looking at how we've been in such a tight range over here. Breakout strategies, great time when you see the markets consolidate like this. Just setting some levels that you'd be comfortable with to play breakouts. Just remember when you do that to keep your risk in mind. To know if you're going to look at a breakout. Look at what your top level. If you're playing a breakout short, look at what your top level risk would be. If you're going to play a breakout long, look at what your bottom level risk would be, and obviously adjust your lot sizing to be appropriate to that. But there's things you could do. We've been in this channel for a couple of days now, between 310 and 3000. You could look at a break of 3000 and see what happens there. You could look at a break of 310 and see what happens there. I mean, obviously, for me personally, I try not to form biases, but it's natural to form them. I feel like there's probably more downside opportunity on the S&P eminis than there is on an upside. But, of course, again, we know Keynesian theory says the markets can be irrational for much longer than we can be solvent. So I always try to keep that in mind whenever I feel myself creating some sort of a mental bias for one direction over another. I try to remember that the markets can be wacky like that, and try to bring myself back to reality. As far as other things that I'm looking at, looking over here on the Forex side of things, I do use an indicator that is, quote, one of those fancy indicators. The Forex market is not like the futures market. It's not like the stock market. It's not highly speculative like the others are. The Forex market is a utilitarian market, and therefore it operates differently. And I have a tool that allows me to look at the market and break it down into the actual individual currencies so that we know what actually is trading there. And I have on the regular website of makemoneyfromyourlaptop.com, if you want to know more about how the Forex markets actually function, go in there, go to the members area. It's free, and there's a course that'll take you through how the Forex markets operate. I'm not going to get into a ton of that right now, but just understand the Forex market. When you're looking at a pairing of, let's say, yen against the pound, you're trading two major economies. There's the yen, what's happening with the yen, and there's the pound, what's happening with the pound, and we're pairing those together. It's not like coming in and saying, the S&P is selling off this morning. We just want to sell the S&P. That's speculative. Gold, what's happening with gold specifically. Forex is different from that. So anyway, neither here nor there, but I use this indicator to help me understand which markets are actually moving so that I can then make decisions around that. And I've got a couple of breakout trades pending right now. I have a breakout trade pending on the euro yen, and this one actually is engaged over here on the pound yen. So just looking at these, first thing in the morning, I look at these key areas, and if price breaks below it, then I get into a trade and let it roll from there. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm looking at this morning. Not making any real decisions as far as what's happening here in the futures market until we get to the 8:30 time period, my time, 9:30 Eastern. The U.S. stock market gets fully underway, and then we'll see what actually is happening here. And if we retest any of these key areas, then obviously I'll be trading off of those, and would encourage you again to do the same as far as your trading plan goes. Look at what your trading plan is and how you've designed it and what levels are important to you, and then make your trading decisions. If the big thing to remember is, if you've got a trading plan, which I would highly encourage if you're going to trade, you write it down, document it, and have a trading plan, that you stick to what that plan is. Do what your plan says. And if you're not in an area that's a big decision point for you, then don't trade it. You don't have to trade. You're going to do more damage to yourself taking trades outside of your plan. That's taking away the consistency element that's required there. If you've got a plan that's based around doing something consistently, you've got good money management to it, you've got good expectancy from that plan, anytime you deviate from that, you skew all of those numbers down the road, and you're typically going to do some level of damage to yourself by not sticking to your plan. You might have a big win one time, but then you're creating bad habits that are going to then spiral out of control in the future. I know that sounds terribly pessimistic, but it's reality. It's how our subconscious minds work. Which brings me to another point real quickly. I've been doing some work with a really cool guy named Todd Gaster. He's a friend of mine. I've known him for years. I don't know why it's taken me this long to enroll in one of his mindset courses, but you'll be able to later today. I've got some modules that are based on what he's been teaching me that I'll be relaying to you guys. Obviously, it's not any kind of a full module. It's my summary of what he's been teaching me, and you guys will be able to go through those. I'm going to make them available to you in the members area a little bit later today. I find this course to be very different from most mindset courses that are out there because I'm getting real actionable content every day that's pushing me into a plan and a mindset that's really helping me identify the things that are, I hate to use the word game changer, but it's true, that are game changers psychologically, that help us stick to our plans and stick to the rules and do the things that are important to us. So anyway, that's it for now. Look for that in a couple of hours later on today. You'll be able to find those modules and go through them. And if you really like what it is, I think you'll be able to glean a lot of information from my summaries, but obviously I'll put some links in there. Not any kind of affiliate link or anything, but I'll put some links in there. So if you really like what it is and you want to work with Todd directly, you'll be able to do that. So anyway, that's it for now. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.